in the latest rumble between the Pakistan's executive branch and the judiciary, the Supreme Court is in a tussle with the Sharif government over an act to clip the Chief Justice's powers. A three-member bench of the Apex Court struck down the Review and Order Judgment Act, which was passed in both houses of the Parliament. The bench, headed by outgoing CJP Bandial, unanimously struck down the act, terming it as illegal and unconstitutional. The Supreme Court's Practice and Procedure Act 2023 has three provisions. First, the cases the CJP can take up on its own. This will be decided by a committee consisting of the Chief Justice and two other senior-most judges instead of only the Chief Justice. Second, the benches to hear these cases will also be decided by the committee instead of the top judge, in which any case involving interpreting the Constitution will not have a bench with fewer than 5 judges. And third, the decisions made in such cases will be open to appeals. Now, this comes on the heels of a massive development in Pakistan politics. Former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is expected to return to the country after 4 years. Outgoing Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said that the PMLN Supremo will return to the country in the next month. He said this while being interviewed in a local news channel. Listen in.
ये बता सकता हूँ इंशाल्लाह कि वो अल्लाह ने चाहा तो अगले महीने पाकिस्तान तशरीफ ले आएंगे। वो कानून को फेस करेंगे मियां नवाज शरीफ साहब, ये मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, कानून को फेस करेंगे।
Shehbaz Sharif further confirmed that after the caretaker government takes the reins, he intended to take a trip to London, where to finalize the program with Nawaz Sharif. Shehbaz Sharif also said his brother would lead the PMLN's election campaign, in fact, and assume the role of the Prime Minister for a 4th time if they emerge victorious. And it seems as if the stage is being set to pave the way for Nawaz Sharif's return. Nawaz's reported return would also coincide with Chief Justice of Pakistan, Umar Atta Bandial's retirement. PML leaders believe the outgoing CJP was an impediment in the way of Nawaz Sharif's return. And it seems that they don't want the next CJP to be a hindrance to the senior Sharif contesting in the upcoming polls. To this end, the Senate or the upper house passed the Supreme Court Review and Order. Well, the Review and Order Judgment Act, in fact, and this comes days before the bill was cleared. Shehbaz Sharif had said, and I quote, "History would not forgive us if the powers of the top judge were not curtailed." And now, the Supreme Court's bench's move to strike down the law is sure to drive the wedge between the outgoing CJP and the outgoing Prime Minister even deeper. For more on this, we are now joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik. Anas, my first question to you. What exactly does the ruling say? Could you please explain that to us?
Risha, what is this law was basically this was to democratize the Supreme Court's and its powers. Right now, the standalone powers of a suo motu lies with the Chief Justice only. It's his entire prerogative, and that a suo motu cannot, if a judgment against a suo motu is done, it cannot be reviewed as well. That was the case in which the law and legislation was approved. Now, very interestingly, this legislation was as a counter to another suo motu case with regards to the polls that were to be held in the province of Punjab, and the government had presented this law in order to disrupt the process of the proceedings. On the 26th of May, this law was ratified by the President of Pakistan, and then it was appealed upon. On the 28th of May, the first hearing was done. On the 19th of June is when the verdict was reserved. And today, a short while back, a 3-member bench of the Supreme Court has announced its verdict and has said that this is unconstitutional. This was beyond the purview of the Parliament. The Parliament, it was incomplete, and therefore it was not mandated to do such a legislation in the absence of a 2/3 majority. Therefore, it has been struck down. Now, what this essentially means is because it was giving review, the right to review in retrospect as well to those who have been who've been a victim of the 184.3 or the suo motu itself. So that means the right to review was being granted to Nawaz Sharif, the former Prime Minister,
Right.
and Jahangir Khan Tareen, the chairperson of or the leader of Istehkam-e Pakistan Party, the newly formed Istehkam-e Pakistan Party. They do not get to have that review anymore, given that that very law on the basis of which they could have potentially had that review has been struck down. Isha?
Right. Anas, taking off from that, can we say that it's over for Nawaz Sharif's return now?
Well, it's not over, it's not done until it's done, as they say, and there's never a dull day in Pakistani politics. Nawaz Sharif still has one technical window, that is from the options that are currently available. If there is some more legislation, if there is something else that probably could be done, I can't talk about the future, but that presidential pardon still implies, so in case if the president pardons him, that's almost that's a probability that's almost not happening, because the president happens to be from the party of Imran Khan, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. So it's not really over per se, but yes, the chances are bleak. Nawaz Sharif, who was eyeing to return to Pakistan somewhere in the third week of September, now he would be really stepping back and weighing in on his options, because if and when he returns, he would not be having much avenues to go for or much scope for a review, and rather he would have to go through a rigorous trial and even face jail imprisonment as well for the cases in which he's currently a proclaimed offender or an absconder in the eyes of the court. Isha?
Right. Anas, thank you so much for giving us those updates as well.